This episode of the Paycast podcast is sponsored by Sigma, a direct processor for faster payments and higher profits. Learn more at sigma.com.
Welcome to the Paycast Network. My name is Stephen Morris, and I'm here today at the Agent Roundtable. I'm here with some great gentlemen that have flown in from all across the country, and we're going to talk about some of the simple things that happen in merchant services and some of the horror stories that happen when it comes to payments and being an outside sales rep. What does that consist of? Before we get into that, I want to introduce my panel for today. We have Jason Isidore from Summit Payment Systems out of Phoenix, Arizona. We have Gino Prozzi out of G&M Merchant Solutions out of Florence. Noah Balderas out of Austin, Texas. He represents Take Charge USA. And Julio Teneo out of Miami, Florida, representing JT Payments. Welcome, gentlemen.
Let's go.
How you guys doing?
Let's go.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool. Well, we got a number of us who are here today. I want to go around and have you guys explain who you are and what you do. So we're going to do age before beauty.
Oh man!
All right, let's do young first. So, Julio, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do when it comes to payments.
Yeah. So again, my name is Julio Tinel. I started in this industry about 2 years ago. Didn't know much about what I was doing, but officially have started full time, going all in for the last 2 months. Been figuring out the verticals that I'm gonna focus on. Right now, I'm focusing on the automotive space. And the way I started was I had an ATM business before, would talk to merchants, would install and place ATMs. And they told me, hey, do you do payment processing and credit cards? And I was like, I didn't even know you can do that. So that's kind of where I started. And I met you and we got connected and here we are.
Awesome, man. So you're the newbie.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Noah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on with Take Charge in Austin.
Absolutely. So I'm Noah Balderas. I similar to you, I started kind of in the ATMs, but before that, I was in insurance just for a little bit. That's kind of where I started my sales career. Dabbled in the ATMs, had a friend tell me about processing. That's when I met you, social media. And, I had some experiences, and I ended up almost leaving the industry, and I got saved by a really good friend of mine, thanks to you. And, that's how we got here, and I've been doing this since 2022.
Awesome.
And,
you guys are going to make me cry. I'm
Absolutely.
loving Thanks to Me. Let's go. Now, I know Gino doesn't have a Thanks to Me story. Gino, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been in the industry a little more than a couple months.
Right. I'm the old guy. I had a 30-year career in the consumer finance business, retired. 9 months later, I really needed something to do, but I was doing a network marketing business, and I actually showed that business to, I didn't know at the time, but a credit card processor. And he had me show it for those guys, and I did, and they wanted me to do that with them, and they were going to work with me. And long story short, 12 years ago, I got started and had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Today, I've got a pretty good-sized business. I've seen a lot of the ups and downs in the business. I'm fortunate that my son's been with me now. November will be 5 years.
Got it.
And we work together and build businesses. I'm in about probably 24 states now.
Okay. Now, me and you have that in common. We both have our sons working with us, so that's pretty cool.
It
and
is.
I'm gonna want you to expound on how you and I met. So we'll talk about that in a
Well,
few.
I could tell you, but
We
may
met.
have to kill you.
We'll give them the short version. We met at a merchant. Gino was trying to sign up one of my customers, and my customer called me and said, "You need to recruit this guy." And we went back and forth for a while, but we've been great friends ever since, man. So we met through a customer. Jason Isidore,
I'm here, baby.
out of Phoenix,
I'm here.
Arizona.
Yes.
How humid is it for you here?
It is crazy, crazy humid. It is the most humid place I've ever been in my 50 years on planet Earth. So I woke up this morning and the windows in the hotel were fogged up. So I knew it was going to be a crazy day. But no, my name is Jason Isidore. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Summit Payment Solutions is my company. So I'm an old head. I've been in the industry 18 years. Started out in office supplies.
Oh, wow.
Started out in office supplies. That was kind of my first sales job that I had done, and then got into telecom and kind of fell into the merchant services industry by chance. My buddy kept trying to get me to come over to Chase. He was a Chase payment tech at the time, and I was against it. And so I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to give this a go, and it was the greatest move I ever made. Our industry is phenomenal. So like I said, 18 years. It's been great. So started with Chase Payment Tech, and then I actually went over to Sage Payment Solutions, and then they converted over to Paya, and then just by chance I said I'm going to give this a go, and I started my my company 11 years ago, Summit Payment Solutions.
Awesome.
So.
I love what you guys are hearing because we have a full range of different tenure in the payment space. My first question to you, because I've been in the payment space for about 2.5 decades myself, but let's go back to signing up that first merchant, right? It sounds like all of you fell into merchant services. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What was the first client that you ever signed up, and what was if you had to go back and talk to your younger self, would you have signed up that customer, or would you have kind of walked away? Let's go back to the first customer we've ever signed up.
Right on.
It's been a long time ago, kind of hard to remember.
I'll start it off. The first merchant that I ever signed up was a small kind of mom and pop Asian restaurant, and I'm a feet on the street guy, so I was a cold calling guy, machine, would do 25, 30, 40 doors a day.
Nice.
And that was really the way I made my business, was just walking in and having conversations. And I remember the first one because I walked in and she didn't speak very good English. And so the communication wasn't really there.
Okay.
But we were building rapport through body language. She was listening to what I was saying, and I could tell I was connecting with her. And so just went in for the kill and closed the deal actually that day. So it was a one.
So you closed somebody that didn't even speak English?
No.
Okay, give it up.
No. And so
wow.
Spanish?
Chinese restaurant.
Wow. Okay.
Asian restaurant.
Is she still your customer to this day?
No.
Okay.
This was 18. They closed. They were only in business for about a year.
Okay.
Small mom and pop, and they struggled a little bit. But that was the first one.
Okay. My first one was a Caribbean restaurant. It was actually the mother of my college roommate. So I had a little bit of credibility kind of going in. So it wasn't like a cold call.
Yeah.
But she allowed me to mess up the app. Back then, there was no dual pricing.
Yeah.
It was tiered plus, 1.69 and 15 cents a transaction.
Right.
And I was leasing a terminal. This was back in 99.
Wow.
But I remember her because she watched me mess up. But I think when you sign up your first customer, you're just trying to figure it out. What about you guys? What's your first customer that you guys ever signed up?
So I actually had a auto shop, and when you first start, you're told kind of just hit everything, close proximity. So there was a bunch of auto shops. I went to it. It was a really big timing thing. The guy was a brand new auto shop, didn't really have anything set up.
Okay.
And same like you, I messed up the app, and he let me. And he was a cool guy. I was like, wait, you're gonna let me sign you up? Like, okay, sounds good. And I went with it. I leased the terminal as well as a PAX unit. And what was the second question? Would I go back?
Would you go back and do you value that experience, or would you go back and kind of change something other than messing up the application?
I value the experience.
Right.
The account not so much, is extremely low volume, but the experience was necessary. I think I learned a lot in that 2 hours of signing that merchant. It was and you're sweating bullets. You're trying to get it done.
Want to make it right.
How do I ask for the voided check and stuff? And you don't get a lot of, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But you don't get a lot of guidance, and so you're out there just trying to,
brother.
Yeah. So.
And that's the reason why we're recording this today, is because I think a lot of agents that are out there that are watching this, let's be honest, we've all been new at some point. So no matter if you've been in it 2 months or 20 years, we can all go back and say, hey, when I first started, there wasn't a lot of mentorship in this space.
No, it really
so
wasn't.
signing up your first account, that's why it's such a good story for all of you to tell. You're going to go back in your mind and be like, man, I could have did that better. I could have did this better. What's up with you, Julio? 2 months ago or 2.5 months ago, account?
First account was really about 2 years ago. The account was a food truck, and it was actually called ITEA, so it was Haiti backwards. They were they were a new business. And they were friends of a friend, so I actually drove about an hour and a half to them. I would go anywhere, and I was new too, so it's like, hey, let's be new together. And I went over there, signed them up. I didn't get all the information that I needed, but they gave me a yes. Looking back, would I sign them? Probably not, because of the same reason. The volume was very low. Also, they were a new business. They didn't last that long, so yeah.
Okay. Do you think that, and I hear both of you guys say the volume was very low, Do you think that when you're new, you're just trying to see if you can sign the application?
Yeah.
Is that pretty
Kinda
much just
low
the
hanging fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to anybody you can, trying
Okay.
to get something on the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is you got to remember, even the small deal that you probably wouldn't go back to today may lead you to a different deal.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
And you can name drop them. That's what I did. There's so many
you
other
could get a lot of stuff from it,
Yeah.
and then you're looking and saying, well, I'm glad I went there,
Right.
Right.
But ultimately, you're looking to get something on the books.
Okay. What's the biggest mistake you guys have made out in the field? Like, I mean, other than writing up the application wrong or having to go back, what's a big mistake that you've made that you would want other agents to avoid?
Definitely forgetting the merchant's name in front of them. Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. You called him Rick, what his name was?
Yeah,
his name
Sharon
was
or
Charles.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
I would say pricing, probably telling them a price and then going back and realizing like, no, that wasn't the price that it was. So
Okay.
knowing that and knowing the information correctly.
Now, did you know the price of, or you just kind of were winging it and then had to go
I
back
assumed
and
I
fix
made
it?
a lot of assumptions.
Got it.
And sometimes it's good just to say, hey, you know what? I actually don't know, and let me talk to you tomorrow. Is that okay if I call you when I do have the answers? So.
Right. And that's something that I tell a lot of new sales partners, and I encourage myself about. We don't know everything. Let's be honest. This industry is ever changing. Right. We may know pricing. We may know sales. You may read all the Stephen Covey books and the Napoleon Hills and be the best salesperson in the world. But with the technology that's happening in the payment space, it's ever changing. So to say that you don't know something and then ask for permission to come back, that's probably one of the biggest mistakes and the biggest learning things that I learned. What about you, Jay?
I think one of the biggest mistakes I was making in the early days was I was trying to spit out sales knowledge before I had the sales knowledge. And I think one of the things that really changed things for me is I looked at cold calling as let's just go out and have conversations.
Okay.
Conversations is cold calling.
Right.
And when you have conversations, you can kind of open up the doors to different questions that may come up, and you start to really build rapport. And I think in the early days, I think a lot of new sales reps are out there, they're trying to remember all the interchange, the dual pricing, the machines. Just have conversations, let it flow in kind of a personal manner.
Right.
And then everything falls into place. And I think for me, when I let that happen, everything just started happening.
Right.
And the relationship started, coming to play and deals started closing. And I think in the first month or two, it's pretty normal for for new sales guys to try to remember everything.
Right.
And spit it out. Well, you can't spit that sales knowledge out unless you know what you're selling.
Right.
Right. And I think sometimes you just went in there, me personally, I was going in there just trying to sell them. Well, I don't know what I'm selling.
Right.
And so when I changed that mindset and turned cold calling into conversations,
Correct.
everything just kind of
Beautiful.
became
I
easy.
think. Do you think that most salespeople don't like cold calling? If they don't like it, why do you think that is?
I think a lot of sales reps are scared of cold calling.
Why?
Because they're scared of rejection.
Okay.
I used to love cold calling was what I built my entire portfolio on at the start.
Okay.
Activity, you can control your activity.
Correct.
I used to tell people, I can control my activity. I can control if I do 30, 40 doors a day. If I'm getting to, I'll give you a story. One of my biggest accounts that I signed up in the early days was cold call number 29.
Okay.
And I remember that day like it was yesterday because I was at 25 and I was tired, and you've been going all morning. You've been on sales.
And it's hot.
It's hot.
Arizona,
You're on,
Right.
and you just want to quit. And that little voice in your head is said, just wrap it up. And I was ready to wrap it up. And I said, no. I told myself I was doing 30 cold calls that day. And number 29 ended up being one of the biggest deals I'd ever signed in my life.
Beautiful.
Up to that
Worth
point.
it,
And it changed
100%.
my life.
Yep.
And so I always used to say, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments.
That's right.
And if you don't have a disciplined mindset and you want to stop at 24, when you told yourself 30, you can control that. And so you can control the activity. And I think a lot of sales reps don't like cold calling.
Right.
Because they're scared of the no's, they're scared of the rejection. But it's the thing we can control.
Correct.
And I think if you control the cold calling, from my perspective, when I could control that, everything else will fall into place. Just go have good conversations.
Agreed. Anyone else?
I think some people are introverted, so they prefer different routes of getting accounts, referral partnerships and whatnot.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. I still to this day hit 20, 30 doors a day, like you were back in the day, right? And you just got to get over that rejection. I think a lot of people do not like rejection. It's normal too.
Yeah.
You're human, and you don't like getting kicked in the face, and it happens. And you got to expect it when you go out there.
Here's a question for you guys: how many of you guys are married? We've all been rejected.
Oh, there you go.
It's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
But I
Right.
do agree with you guys. The rejection part of it it's hard. But here's the thing: this is not an easy industry.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people come into the industry thinking, "Oh my God, I can make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, and this is easy because you make it look easy."
Yeah.
But it goes back to what you say, Jason.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating your skills, being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
everybody's going to be happy to see you.
Absolutely.
And then there are going to be people that when you walked in at just the right time.
Well, and the other thing too, and this kind of dovetails off what Noah's saying, every no is getting you closer to a yes.
Right.
You know,
It's
and
a
so
numbers
if you can
game.
stay focused, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like Gino's saying, if you can stay focused on this no, I'm getting no, that yes is going to come if you just stick
Correct.
with the plan.
Right.
You know?
You
It's
can't
like
give
kind
up
of
to it.
having an imposter syndrome. It's like you're new, you don't know everything, and then you're like, I'm gonna look like an idiot before this person. But
Yeah.
when you go and just have a conversation, kind of like what you said,
Yep.
every no leads to a yes. It's like you're just in a state of curiosity. You're just asking them questions, and then they're actually curious as well. Them telling you no, it's not that they're not interested. It's that they just don't really know something, and you'll have to kind of guide the conversation there.
And they may not be interested right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
we've all signed
Talk
up
about
customers.
Always
that
follow back.
It's always a timing thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
boils down to
we've signed up
sometimes.
customers that a year ago they kicked us out, and then a year later, they're like, "Oh my God, where have you been?"
Yeah.
So the consistency factor is also a key. You got to be disciplined. I love what you said about that. My motto is discipline over dopamine. We love to be comfortable. We
Yeah.
love to lay back. This is,
Yeah.
and let's get into this part. Changing your mindset from being a salesperson that's W-2 versus commission versus being 1099. There's nobody there to motivate you.
Yeah.
You got to burn the ships.
Yeah,
I mean, you
you're
got
isolated,
to
like,
make the
push it.
decision to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're a normal W-2, and depending on where you came from in your industries, but you go out and you might get. I showed my son. My first residual check was like $83.
Yeah.
Signed 6 deals and make $83.
Wow.
Man.
I'm thinking,
We
what
gotta
in
go.
the world? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about consistency
Yeah.
in what you're doing out there.
No doubt about it.
It's going through the numbers. And some days you feel like I remember coming home one day knocking on doors. 30 cards. I go see 30. I got told no 30 times.
It's going to happen.
Got home about
gonna
3:30 in the afternoon. My wife comes in and
Yeah,
says,
it's
"What are
gonna
you doing here?" I said, "Don't tell me anything."
Don't even.
Don't tell me no.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
She said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I got told 30 times no." And
Yeah.
this was early on, and
Yeah.
next day I go out to a different place, sign 4 deals.
Yeah.
So it's just what you got to understand.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
People are
Gotta
going to
roll
say
with the
no.
punches.
One, they might not know what you're trying to help them with.
True.
Yeah.
They may be getting pushed somewhere with extra fees and not even know it. Most of them can't read what's going on. They don't
Right.
know.
right.
So we have to educate them.
How
and
how
do
much
that.
better do we have to be at what we do? That's my next question to you guys, because I'm hearing, oh yeah, they're going to say no, or it may be the wrong day. A lot of times, let's be honest, merchants are tired of hearing that I
Oh,
can
yeah.
save you money.
Oh, yeah.
They get about, I had one friend of mine, he owns an Irish pub in my town. He said, "Steven, I don't know how you do this job." He goes, "I get about 50 phone calls a day
Oh, yeah.
to my restaurant." He goes,
Yeah.
"We have the caller ID on. My girls know
Yeah.
to automatic." He goes, "I know this is what you do," but he goes,
Yeah.
"It's got to be competitive."
It
so
is.
my question is,
Yeah.
how much sharper do we have to be as agents when we're out there to debunk the myth that we don't know what we're doing?
Yeah, you have to be super sharp in our industry. I mean, our industry is really littered with a lot of, I'm gonna keep it real.
Corruption.
Yes.
Good word.
You know, you're making the kind of money we make. That's ripe for a lot of knuckleheads running the streets saying whatever they can say to get deals and make money. So yeah, we have to be super on our game. I know with me, when I cold call, when I walk in the door, one of my icebreakers, and I've done this ever since I've started cold calling, I like to make the merchant laugh. And And so normally within the first 30 seconds, I'll walk in the door and say, don't kill me. I'm just another merchant services rep. I know you've had 15 come in today, or you've gotten 10 calls. And it kind of breaks the ice where they know what I'm there for, because they're getting peppered with our industry. They're getting called all day. So we all kind of get lumped into this big pot where we're all a bunch of shysters.
Right, for sure.
So we have to be on our game. And I think it goes back to just having the conversation. Feel them out. Feel the vibe, the energy in the cold call. Read the room. I mean, you should read the room. I read the room within the first 30 seconds when I walk in the door.
Right.
I know if that person's no nonsense. I know if they laugh at my joke. One of the things, if they laugh at my joke, the wall's down.
Yeah.
Now I can
Keep
go
going.
in with
That's
my
right.
quick pitch and see if it goes anywhere. But yeah, we have to be super on our game, because there are a lot of agents doing what we do, and these merchants honestly become numb to us.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if you're not on your game, they're not even going to listen to you.
You're just another number for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll say you have to come with an awareness that like people are already hostile towards you. They already have a negative view towards you.
No doubt.
On one side, it's kind of like a bad thing. On the other side, it's actually a benefit, because when you come in and you ask them like, hey, why are you so hostile? Like, what has been your experience in the past? And now you can show them the benefits of how you are different than them and what you can offer them and the value that you offer.
Or they'll open up with a story of a bad experience, and that can be a foot in the door as well.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest though, nobody likes salespeople, and you've got to understand that when you're going door to door.
The funny thing is when I hear that, when they say nobody likes salespeople, but everything you buy usually
have to
you're
buy
it's
from
sold to.
sales.
Everybody's in
True,
sales.
Yeah, everybody. The receptionist at the Ford dealership, she's in sales.
For sure.
You're selling either an idea, a concept, a product, or a promotion.
You're selling.
Always.
You're selling yourself.
100%.
I mean, to go back to your question about, we have to be on our game, but you are selling you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gino's selling Gino when he walks in. Noah's selling Noah. Julio's selling Julio. You're selling Steve when you walk in a door. So you've got to sell yourself. You've got to be authentic.
Right.
Because you're right. A lot of people don't like sales. I'm a sales guy, and I don't really like sales.
right.
That's
I
what
even don't
You
like
know,
sales.
the
So,
funny part is
you know?
when you're a sales guy being sold to.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the best.
you're
game
the
with it.
worst
know the
customer.
tricks.
we
So you know what? Let me recruit you.
We know the tricks, and so you're selling you, and so I think you've just got to be authentic. You've got to be yourself.
for sure.
These business owners and merchants, they can see right through your BS.
100%.
I'm on a podcast, I'd say the word, but you know what BS is. So they know BS when they see BS.
Right.
So you've got to sell yourself and be authentic.
Yeah.
And that's the key to this.
And I'd say like sometimes they have so much things going on, they just really don't have the time.
Correct.
They'll say, I don't have the time. Or
Yep.
sometimes they just really don't care, and they just tell you, I really don't have the time.
And read the
You know?
room. Read the room, yeah.
Here's my next question for you guys. As we said, competition is high. We have a lot of people that will go to different ISOs and different companies, and people are getting into. I teach a new agent sales class, and people are thriving to get into this business.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you. Number one, what keeps you going? And when did you know that this is what you wanted to do full time? I'm sure, Gino, at $80 after 6 merchants, you were like, you still were doing something else. Right. When did it become real for you, and what was the thing that said, I got to make this work?
When I left the consumer finance business, and I basically didn't do anything but a little networking, I was retired. I actually went out and did that, and then 2 months later, that $83 was like $3,500. So I realized at that
nice
point,
jump.
Yeah, I signed a couple big deals. Yeah. So I realized that the industry was very lucrative.
Right.
And I realized also that if I was going to do the work, then be good at it. Be able to listen to the customer, what they need. They'll tell you if you just listen. Don't talk as much. I think if you listen to what their needs are once you get the conversation started with them, and you build that relationship, it makes a difference. But whatever you tell the customer, you have to follow through with it. So my view was, I look, you don't want to call 800 numbers. I don't like calling 800 numbers. I'm going to give you my cell phone. You call me.
Right.
So I told a guy that one day.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, he's probably going to throw my car in the trash. He's not going to do anything with it. I wasn't 2 miles from his location, and my phone rings. Didn't know the number. I answered it. I'm sorry, got the wrong number. Hung up. 2 days later, get another call. I answer it. Hung up. He did that 3 times.
Oh, he was testing you.
Yes.
Oh,
to see if I answered my phone call.
Wow.
Okay.
So I got the phone call the 3rd day. I answered the phone. Hello. He says, "Hey, this is Rockish at so and so. Will you come by and do my credit card?"
Nice.
Yeah.
He came to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I did the work beforehand, telling him what I would do. So I really think that making a decision to do this industry was about seeing the potential, blocking out all the other people. Don't worry about those guys. Right. You do what you do, the best you can do, and be honest with your customer. And I think you can last a long time.
This episode of the Paycast podcast is sponsored by Sigma, a direct processor for faster payments and higher profits. Learn more at sigma.com.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask you guys a question. So this is a good one because I like this one. So if you guys could give your first month in the industry self one piece of advice, what would it be? I'm going to start with the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Morris.
Residual bills require residual income.
Let's go.
That's the only way you're going to get out of debt.
I like it.
When I first started, I remember driving my 1984 Ford LTD to the office.
Yeah.
And just seeing the income potential. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not moved by money now because I do pretty well for myself. But back then I was broke.
Yeah.
I was a broke kid. And and here's another piece I would say, be coachable and get a mentor.
For sure.
Get a mentor that is going to invest in your success.
Absolutely.
So those would be my 2.
Yeah,
Residual,
I like it.
if you remember that, whether you have a job or whether you don't have income coming in, your bills are coming in.
For sure.
Yeah.
The only way to combat that is you have to build your residual income. But you need a mentor. You have to have somebody that's invested in your success just as much as you are, and sometimes even more. And that's the thing that's missing is that people feel like they're in it by themselves. They got to figure out if your ISO's not helping you. That's why people fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
So that would be the advice I give.
Good
myself.
answer. Julio?
I'll say repetition.
Okay.
You know, do things over and over again. You become a master at it.
Yeah.
I think we want to know everything. And there's certain things that you should have a standard before you go out. You should know what you're talking about. But at the same time, there's things that you learn by experience. Yeah. And you have to go through, the learning curves.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
Yeah, I like the repetition. That's a big thing in our industry. I said this earlier, but discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments for me and for everybody, really, because you can't get to the goals if you don't do the discipline.
That's it, man.
And our industry really is one where it's easy to get lazy.
Oh,
I mean, let's be honest.
You're your own boss.
You're your own boss, and so you got to stay disciplined. So I like the repetition. Very good. Noah.
For me, I would say, I was forcing a lot when I first started. So I would tell myself, you can't be everything to everyone, and make sure that,
Yeah, it's great.
I didn't really have too much product knowledge when I first started. And a lot of people don't. I would say invest into that a little bit, which goes to what Steven was saying is getting a good partner.
Yeah.
Making sure you're lined up with a good mentor, someone who cares about your success as much as you, if not more.
Got it.
And that's basically what I would say.
Very good. Gino.
I would say that I would tell myself, because early on I didn't know what the industry would produce.
Right.
I would say you want to set a goal where you want to be. 6 month, 12 month, 2 year, 5 year, and put yourself on paper where you want to be in those time frames, and then lay out what you've got to do from some advice somebody might be giving you or something that says, here's what I got to do to get there.
Right. Yeah. Got it. Good. Let me ask you guys a question. What's your daily routine? Because we did talk about discipline. Yeah. So discipline requires actions. Yeah. Give me the day in the life of a successful merchant services person. What does that consist of?
I can go ahead and go first because I'm still doing it.
You're saying I'm not doing it.
You guys are
I'm listening to this one. So
I wake up, I'm on the road.
I'm listening to you guys.
Messing around, man. Get on the road. I definitely plan out the night prior as far as kind of just a little bit of a route where I'm going. Because if you don't, what I found is you'll have a lot of windshield time and you'll just be wasting a lot of time out in the field. So I have somewhat of a route plan. Usually I know where I'm going. And not so much vertical, but more so like zip code kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm on the road and I'm in that location by 8 o'clock. I go from about 8. I'm weird, so I kind of fast and I don't eat until about 2 or 3. Yeah. So I try to knock out 20, 30 doors by then. Strike a couple conversations.
Earn
and
your
stuff.
meal.
Absolutely,
I love it.
yeah. And then what I'll do, all the merchants or all the locations that the merchant wasn't in, you get a card, you get an email. When I get back, I usually go ahead and send an email, use ChatGPT, whatever you want, a template, and I blast out those emails.
So many tools. I love
and
it.
then I'll go ahead, again, I'll plan the next day, and then it's family time. You got to have that. So
Okay, got
there
it,
you go.
got it. Anyone else? I like that.
Yeah, no, I think for me, I usually structure my week.
Okay.
I like to know what I'm doing week to week to week. So generally my week looks like Monday and Tuesday are cold calling days for me.
That's great.
I like to cold call on those days because the other thing, being our own boss, is the week can get away from you if you let it. You got merchants calling you, you got installs you got to
Right.
do, you got follow-ups. So if you don't structure the week, so Monday and Tuesday was my 2 primetime days. I'm cold calling, I'm getting up, I'm scouting out where I'm going because you want to know where you're going. And I'm usually going from about 9 in the morning until about 2.
Okay.
So I've got a nice 5-hour window where usually I was trying to do 30 cold calls in that window, have 30 conversations. I didn't even call it cold calling. I just said conversations.
Right.
Because it's really 30 conversations.
Right.
Go in the doors, just have conversations and let it flow with the merchants.
Let's clear that up real quick because I know a lot of people that are watching. I know I've had this happen when you say cold calling, they think you're calling over.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
phone.
no.
You mean door knocking?
So
going
we're-
around the
yeah,
door.
Clarify
yeah,
that
yeah,
for
door to
sure.
door.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Door knocking.
door knocking. I'm a door knocking guy. I cold calling, the real cold calling on the phone, I hate.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
impersonal. You can't look someone in the eye and read the room. So
Yeah,
don't
they
It's
got
a lot
people
easier.
saying
It's a lot
robots.
easier to
Call
do one
you.
of those.
yeah, and
on you,
they'll
too.
hang the phone up. So door knocking. So from 9 to about 2, 5 hours. Because the other thing too is you got to know when you got your most energy. If you're going to do 30 doors, you're going to be tired.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of talking. And my wife always laughs because she doesn't get sales Jason. Sales Jason puts the
Your
cape
wife says
on.
that too, my wife.
Yeah, oh my God.
Don't give me sales, Steve.
Shit, sales Jason's at 9 o'clock. He's turning the charm on. He's walking in the doors.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get home. I don't even want to talk to my wife.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm tired. I've been
Yeah.
talking
Cut
all
that
day.
one out,
So Monday, Tuesdays, door knocking days. When I got done door knocking, that's when I would go through my cards, and I would always rate my cards. So when I walk in a door, I write A, B, C, D, or an F. Because when you get to the end of your day, you're going to have 30 cards, and you're not going to know.
grades.
You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And so the other thing that made me really successful when I was really cranking was I would do thank you cards.
Yeah,
If I walked
handwritten
in,
ones?
handwritten
Yes.
thank you cards, if I walked in a door and it was a great conversation, or I set an appointment, because my appointment day was Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, I'm setting appointments for Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday's nothing but meeting day. Because the old school way of going in and just signing up a deal, signing them and closing them right there, I almost felt dirty doing that. I'd walk in the door.
They don't last either.
It don't last.
Transactional.
It's transactional.
You
They
haven't
don't
build anything.
They don't know me. I didn't build any rapport. So Wednesday was prime time, and my goal on Monday and Tuesday was to set up 4 meetings on Wednesdays. 4 solid meetings, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So at the end of the cold calling, I'd look at my cards, and I would say, all right, I've got 3 A's. They're getting a handwritten thank you card. Something funny we talked about in the cold call.
It's very personal.
It's very personal. Handwrite it, because no one does that anymore.
Right.
They were doing it back when me, Gino, and Steve started, but not
Well,
years.
that would be one advice I give to the youngsters
Yeah.
is to still develop handwritten cards.
Handwrite
like
'em.
we live in
Yeah.
a generation, everybody
It's
wants to do
impersonal.
anything, email and chat GPT.
It's
a
impersonal.
handwritten card will get you
Yeah.
a long
AI
way,
and-
strictly because
Yeah.
what does the merchant receive mostly in the mail? Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if they see that someone took the time
Yeah.
to handwrite them a card and it's from
Yeah.
a random salesperson, it builds a lot more rapport
Yeah.
and credibility.
Yeah.
So.
Would you say, now that you're saying that, do you have like a follow-up day?
I do. And so Thursday was actually my follow-up day. So Wednesday I'm doing the meetings, right? Thursday I'm following up. Friday was actually my install day. So I would structure my week that way. Monday, Tuesday, door knock. Wednesday, meeting day. Thursday was follow-up day. Friday was install. And I would stick to that weekly structure because you're going to get calls throughout. Once you start building your portfolio, you're going to get calls
Random
left and right
calls.
from
Yeah.
merchants,
Correct.
this, that, and the other. But my merchants always knew that if I didn't answer the phone, I would tell them point blank. If I don't answer the phone, I tell them between 9 and 2, I'm out running around, I'm doing things, but I'm going to call you back at 2.
Right.
So after my cold calling, it was thank you cards, it was following up on calls, emails, and so just structuring that week.
Okay,
So
got it. So
Let's
I'm
talk a
hearing
little
lot-
bit
Man, a lot of time management. That's good. Go ahead, Julio.
We want to talk about objections, right? So like talk about our favorite objections. How do you guys deal with one of our favorite objections? I'm happy with my current provider.
I say that's great.
Yeah.
I always turn it around on them. If you tell me, hey, I'm happy with my current provider, you know what, Mr. Customer, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That's not the normal testimony that I hear while I'm out in these streets.
Yeah.
Ask you, who are you with? Remember, that's how I met Gino. Who are you with? And they'll tell you, hey, my guy is great. The product I have is great. The key is to get them to keep talking.
Yeah.
Because you'll find out either they may be happy, or they may say, hey, you know what? I love my guy, but the terminal stinks or whatever. Keep them talking. So if I find someone that is happy with their provider, I'm not going to get upset and just walk out. Hey, here's my card.
Yep.
If anything ever changes, I'm a phone call away. Hey, you mind if I put a sticker on the side of your terminal real quick, just so that way you'll have my name? See, I give out business cards and I put stickers on the side of the terminal because I don't want them to not know who I was and that I stopped. I want them to remember that I stopped by.
I like the other sticker idea.
Oh yeah, put a sticker on the terminal, bro. Put a sticker on the terminal. I promise you, they'll call you.
Yeah, and the other thing that goes with the thank you cards, if you can keep them talking, and because a lot of times that's a brush off. They're just trying to get you out. You're another sales guy. You walked in, but if you can get them to talk and communicate and kind of connect, I will walk out of that's what a B is. If I have a good conversation with somebody, I'm putting B on there. I've gone in the car after those kind of situations, wrote them a handwritten thank you card, and then when I follow up the following Thursday,
it's so much easier.
I'll walk in the door. They've got my thank you card. My thank you card has my face on it.
Oh wow!
Yep. No. Listen to me. Like I said in the early stages,
I can't forget you.
We're selling ourselves.
Yes, you are.
And I'm telling you, I will give you. I'm getting off topic now. I will give you a story. There was a gentleman I was trying to get. Same thing. He brushed me off. He was a jackass. Excuse my language. I don't know if I can cuss on this podcast. All right. He was a jackass.
FCC's not gonna get you on this.
But we talked, and I was breaking him down. And he had a catering business, and he was warming up to me. I wrote him a handwritten thank you card with my picture on it. And I do that so they remember me. So when I walk in on the follow-up, they're like, there's that guy.
Yeah.
I walked in and followed up the next week. It didn't go anywhere. I follow up 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
I'm not going to become that overbearing, pushy sales guy because they get them calling because you'll run them off.
Right.
I then followed up 6 months later. 2 years later, he calls me. 2 years, because then I send him Christmas cards. I get him in this file, right? I went in and signed him up. You know what was taped to his office?
Your picture.
My thank you card with my picture.
Hilarious. So he saw your face every day.
Single day. And I joked with him, and I said, his name's Pat. I said, Pat, you've been looking at my face. And he said, he goes, Jason, I put you up there because I knew at some point I was going to call you, and you stayed on me, not aggressively as a sales guy, and I signed him up. And so it's one of those things where if you get that objection, read the room. Sometimes if you get that objection, if I've got an F and they give it, run. Don't even mess with it. But if you get that objection of I'm happy with my guy, but you know there's something there, follow up. Do it not aggressive. They don't want aggressive. There's too many aggressive sales guys in the merchant service.
Hard close.
Hard close.
It's not worth the outcome.
Would you ask for a referral in that case? Because I've had some success asking, like, "Oh, I'm glad you're happy with them."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You always ask for a referral.
I want
last week
to make somebody else happy. Would you know of anybody?
Always ask for a referral.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that's one of the areas where salespeople drop the ball. Think about it.
Yeah.
You done sign the guy up, or even if you didn't sign the guy up, still ask for a referral. You never know. He would say, "Oh yeah, talk to my buddy down the street." He may just really be happy. But I think that's truly where salespeople drop the ball. They never ask for the referral.
Well, if you get his buddy down the street and you help
come
him
back
out,
to him.
then you end up getting that guy.
100%.
Referrals are key.
I don't think there's ever an opportunity not to ask for a referral.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just think that some people just don't. The funny thing is most of us, and I've been guilty of this when I first started out, I was just so happy to get the paperwork signed, I ran out of there. Because I didn't want to make a bigger mistake and I didn't want him to say no.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's the best time to ask for a referral. While he's in a state of saying yes, ask for the referrals.
Yeah.
When you go back to install the terminal, ask for the referrals.
Yeah.
Because 90% of the time, your next client is going to come from your last client.
Yeah.
I'll say with the question you asked, typically I still try and push just a little bit. Not too pushy, though. Not aggressive. I'll usually – and sometimes they're just saying that because they don't want to talk to you, right? I mean, it's just a kind of baloney, right? Baloney objection. So I tell them, hey, I respect that. No big deal. I'm not actually trying to get you to switch. I disarm them. So what are they thinking in their head that you want to switch them over? Because you do. I tell them, hey, I'm not trying to get you to switch over or anything. I just want to show you what's available, kind of what we got going on. I'm local, and I think, in the future, if you are interested or if anything happens with your current provider, you give me a call, and I'll try and go for the appointment. And if it's no, then I'll go and say, like you said, well, here's my card. I won't bug you. Reach out if you need anything, or the sticker. Maybe I might try the face thing.
Tell you the sticker thing, and I'm about to do the face. Man, put this face on a card.
Oh, man.
It'll be in the garbage.
Gone. I've had the guy tell me, literally take my card and rip it in front of me
all the time. Wow. Yeah, there's some mean people out there.
I like those guys.
Well, it's not anything against you. It's just the fact that they've been beat down so much.
For sure. Yeah.
So you have to take it another step and make them feel comfortable that you're even trying to be there.
I'm gonna give you a way to get past that in the future. If you guys ever get a real ornery merchant that curses you out and kicks you out and get the heck out of here, walk out.
Yeah. Come back in.
Come back the next day.
I thought you were going to say 30 seconds later.
Buy something.
Okay.
Buy something. Yeah. Because when you go back, but didn't I tell you to get out? Hey, I just was coming to purchase a thing of juice. So
right.
It'll make them feel like the biggest a-hole in the world.
Yeah.
And then
so what do you sell again? What were you here for
I'm
yesterday?
so sorry, but you know what, man? I shouldn't. Because now you're showing them what it feels like to be their customer.
Yeah, sure.
And now they're not, and especially if they do it in front of other customers, oh my God. I have never had an instance where that has not worked. Yeah. Disarm them by buying I'm not saying you got to buy the biggest thing in the store, but buy something small and just say, hey, I was here yesterday. I know you kicked me out. I'm coming back because I saw this and I just wanted to purchase it. Right. Especially me, I use my daughter. I bring her into all my appointments, so they're never gonna kick you out with a kid.
Yeah, she's a superstar.
You got to learn how to. But that way is always. If you ever have a bad day where they tear your card up and throw you out, come back the following day and just be a customer. I promise you they'll listen to you for
some
5
good
minutes.
advice.
I learned that from you, and I could say it works.
Oh, yeah.